Hey guys, Cacti Man here. Just getting through the winter, just like the rest of you. Trying to make my plants as healthy as possible. But like everything, it's an ongoing battle. But today, I wanted to show you guys a new and improved method I have for rooting dragon fruit. Right? So before, on my rooting station, I would have like these little cups, right? I'd have these little cups that I'd put dragon fruit branches in, and I would cut them or root them one by one. And that method I think is a little bit outdated, especially when you begin to root way more cuttings at once, like I was. In with the cups, you can only really root about 2 cuttings per thing. So I decided I needed a new method. So also the cups, they had sort of like some flaws. Like one, using cups really limited the amount of space you had to root, like I just said, and it limited you to the size of cuttings you had. So I would only really able to root like one at the max, like 1 foot size cuttings, because the cups just couldn't support that kind of weight without tipping over, right? No matter how much I filled up with water. And two, it only really worked during the warmer months because the cups only got, well, the water in the cups really only got as warm as the ambient temperature around the cups. So I developed a new method, as you see here, for rooting cuttings, right? So I bought this bucket, from Home Depot, little 5-gallon bucket for around $5. And then I bought this heater right here from PetSmart. It's a Topfin 20 watt. Sorry. It's a Topfin 20 watt 5-gallon beta tank heater for about $10. So this cost me about $15 here. And then what I also do is I put this heater right here, right into the middle of this bucket, right there where you see that ring. I put it right there, and I put it laying down flat like that, so then the water around it gets evenly heated up. And then I fill the bucket up to about 5 or so inches of water, maybe like around right there, that line, and then I just dump my cuttings in there. And the heater keeps the water to about 78 degrees Fahrenheit, 80 degrees Fahrenheit if your house is warmer. And I feel that that's good because it mimics the native temperature of the dragon fruit, where like in the subtropical regions it only gets to about like 80 degrees average, So I thought that was pretty good, and it worked out for me. And it is pretty good because as you can see here, these things, like I've had this setup for only around 2 weeks, and these just exploded in roots. These are way beyond ready to go into the dirt, as you can see. Even this is soon to 3 cutting. I just put in there exactly 2 weeks ago, and it's already rooted. And yeah, these have been in there for 2 weeks as well. They've had some roots, but as you can see, like this is way more roots than I would have ever gotten like in 2 months in a cup. Like it really is working for me. And it even grew this, which is crazy, which has its own aerial roots. So these are all ready to get planted, all thanks to this new method right here. But yeah, so all this setup was only about $15, right? Everything I need right here, just $15 to get this all set up. Whereas, I would just have to purchase a heating mat by itself for $15. So I think this is way more efficient. And on top of that, I have 10 cuttings in this bucket here, and I can fit way more. I want to say up to probably 30 to 40 cuttings, depending on the size, versus having 2 cuttings max per cup and the cup just tipping over. And I even kept this right here, this 2-foot long Cosmic Charlie cutting in the bucket, no problem. The bucket can handle it. So I think that's pretty good. I think this is a much more efficient method of rooting cuttings. That's worked for me, at least. And on top of that, you can also keep the bucket indoors if you're living in a cold area. Everywhere you have an outlet, even outdoors if you can. There are some cons though to this method, and that one, with so many cuttings that you keep in here, it's tricky, especially if you have like filled them. It's tricky to get the cutting that you want without poking yourself. And two, since all the cuttings are in one small area, it's easy for disease to spread around, but I'm not sure if the disease can even survive in standing water like that anyways. And three, which I think is the most pronounced problem, is that if the water evaporates from here, well, you have to be vigilant with the water level, because with the heater being plugged into the wall, if the water level is completely gone, if it's dry in there, then the heater can heat up to some pretty high temperatures and cause you problems. So you gotta keep an eye on that. But it's easy to do that, especially if you're used to keeping fish already. But yeah, I think this is a overall improved method of rooting dragon fruit, especially if you're on a budget. I got all this for $15, and I rooted, and these have just exploded in roots, especially right here in the middle of winter where I keep. Oh yeah, I keep them inside too. My cuttings, I keep them inside. They don't receive basically any sunlight, just the indoor fluorescent lights, and they've just like that's grown a cutting right there, which is crazy to me. But yeah, I think it's been working pretty well, and I just wanted to show you guys an updated method. And if you have any comments or concerns or any updates or improvements to this design, just let me know. Give me a comment, and I'll try to get back to you. But all right, see you guys. Happy growing.